Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. With the recent release of the PTS, we now have an insight into some of the big changes which are on the way to Fallout 76 in the June update. For that reason, in this video I'm going to be sharing 10 of the different changes I have found so far. Now bear in mind these are spoilers for future content, and as it is, the PTS may change. As always, they may make just different choices and go, you know what, that's not actually working, or this, you know, would work better in a different way. With all that being said though, let's dive straight in. First of all, the new change is going to be the addition of two new events called Safe and Sound and Beast of the Burden. Safe and Sound is a way of defense type of event where you'll have to defend a Blue Ridge outpost from different types of critters, with the final round introducing a new enemy which we will discuss shortly. Now Beast of the Burden is more of a kind of unique new styling of an event with a little story added to it. You'll meet a new NPC called Luke Acosta who tells you how a trade deal has gone wrong and a bunch of cultists have stolen his Brahmin and his cargo of makeshift explosives. It is then your job to go in and clear out the cultists and recover the loot before his uncle Vinny Costa finds out. At the end of the event you will be met by a new creature, which takes us to our next point. In the June update we're meant to be getting two new cryptids. The Blue Devil, who you will meet at the end of Safe and Sound, who's like a giant werewolf type creature, kinda similar to the old school Deathclaws. And then we have the Ogua, who is seen at the end of Beast of the Burden. You can also find these as random encounters around the map, so they're not just linked to the events only. Both are very cool looking cryptids, and new creatures and enemies are always welcome to the game, but these two have been starting a little bit of a debate. It's clear as anything that both of these new creatures are just reskins of other enemies. The Blue Devil, which resembles the OG Deathclaw model, is in fact a reskin of the Sheep Squatch, and the Ogua is a clear copy and reskin of the Mega Sloth, which you will see when you see them moving around and fighting. Personally, I'm not really too bothered by this, but some people are, and I kind of get where they're coming from, but let me know what your thoughts on this are down in the comments. You may have thought when seeing the gameplay of these new events that you don't really recognise the locations. That's because these two locations, Middle Mountain Cabins and also the Cranberry Glade, have seen updates and redesigns. I've covered these in a lot more detail in a previous video. If you want to check that out, feel free, but just as a quick little catch up, basically they've been completely changed and there's now buildings and stuff thrown in, different structures and stuff like that, and overall we've just seen massive improvements in these two areas. Now of course with new events this means new rewards. Thanks to Miffy and the Data Mine Discord, we now have a full list of all the different rewards which you can pick up from these new events. Now I haven't seen full images of all of them just yet. I have seen some in the game which I'll try and show, but there is lots of different ones that you can pick up. On top of that, Miffy has also found some new items which can be found from the Blue Ridge Caravan NPCs, new daily ops rewards, new gold bullion additions from past seasons, and also some unused ones which may get assigned to events and stuff at a later date. It's good to see though that similar to the Nuka-Cola on tour, we're seeing lots of different things added in for free and not just Atomic Shop items. I'm really enjoying that. Now as with all major updates in Fallout 76, this one will be landing with a new Season 13 scoreboard. We've had a whole bunch of different data mines found linking with this, including the scoreboard itself and some items which I'll show on screen, but it appears at the moment that this season will be called Shoot for the Stars, and it is going to be predominantly themed around movies and theatre type of thing like that. It also includes lots of cool things like movie posters, outfits and recording equipment, which all links with this kind of movie theme, and there's also lots of other cool stuff on the way which you can find in the previous video I did showing off all the data mines for it. And number 6, it's one of the biggest changes I would say of this update, and it's a massive change in terms of positivity for the just game as a whole, and that is going to be the change to expeditions. Set to start in the June update, players will no longer have to complete fuel quests to charge up the Ultracite battery, and instead you're going to be able to start an expedition whenever you like. The fuel quests will then also change to just kind of like standard daily quests, and the rewards that you get from them will be kind of like be in line with other daily quests. In addition, the Ashes to Fire mission has also been changed, so this one will be giving you more stamps and also legendary weapons just for the fact it is a harder expedition. Also, players will now be able to join other expeditions even if they haven't completed the Responders Reborn quest yet. So all round, some pretty decent changes. The question is though, will this get you playing expeditions more often than you do now, or will it not really affect you? Let me know. Now, another change relating to expeditions, Bethesda have taken the feedback from players and have decided to change the stamp costs of the plans that you can buy from Giuseppe at the White Springs Resort. Some of these prior to this update were kind of just obscenely overpriced, making the grind pretty much impossible for casual players. If you want to pick up like the Union Power Armor, for example, or the Union Jetpack, these things were like, was it 800 or something? It was insane trying to pick these up. Now, thanks to the lower prices and the new changes to expeditions, this hopefully will make it a lot easier to grind for these items and a lot quicker. The next change is more UI changes for legendary weapons. The descriptions of legendaries will now clearly show which effects are classed as 2 stars and 3 stars and so on and so on. And in addition to this, I thought that I would show off and mention a couple of the unique new legendaries that we're going to be getting. From what I can tell so far, these aren't really on the level of the Cold Shoulder where it's got like its own unique stuff, but they do have their own unique skins, so pretty perfect for collectors or someone that just wants to show it off in the camp on a display. Now, according to the latest PTS patch notes, the 2-shot legendary effect is going to be getting some changes which may slightly nerf the weapon. Now, I haven't personally tested this one out just as it's not really my strong point. I'll leave this up to Turtle to test out because no doubt it'll come back with a lot better results. But from what I'm hearing, it may mean that it slightly does less damage as to prior to this change. It used to be multiplicative, however you pronounce that, a multiplier. Whereas now it's actually going to work in a similar way to all the other ballistic weapons in a kind of additive way. So before it would multiply your damage, now it's going to add the damage. So I don't know, it's just going to be slightly different and slightly lower from what we've seen in other areas when they've done this. But that's my explanation. It's not very good. So please, if you know better than me, please drop a comment in the comments below. Explain this the best you can. Now finally, at number 10 is a new set of items which have been put into the game called trading cards. Now so far these do not seem to kind of add any special effects from what I've found and read about them, but it's just kind of like a new collectible item that's going to be put into the game. Maybe some of these will be kind of like rarer than others, and it could just add a little bit of like fun to the game for the collector's side of the game. Maybe you'll trade these for cool weapons and like highly sought after weapons and stuff, and it'll just give a bit more to like the end game area where you want to tick things off and complete things. Currently, a trading card display has been data mined and said to be a reward in the new Season 13 scoreboard, so you will have a nice display at your camp to kind of flex all the ones that you've collected along your playing time. That though guys is 10 new changes which has been found in the current PTS. As said at the start, these are in the PTS, which means they are subject to change, so some things might get tweaked, some things might get delayed, some things might just get all around cancelled. But as it currently stands, all these changes are said to be coming in the June update. If you think I've missed anything, please let me know down in the comments and I may do some follow-up videos on it. But for now, this is the end of the video, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to click on that like button, and if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, catch you in the next one, bye bye.